Hey guys, ready for more dupes? We're going to be focusing on highlight shades and champagne shades from NYX. So the goal is to pick out all of my NYX eyeshadows in that color range and then find the dupes that match them. So most of the dupes are going to be from MAC today. However, I did find, let's see, I think one or two from another brand. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to focus on the light highlight shades and the champagne shades. So once again, I've gathered together my NYX eyeshadows, matched them up with their closest MAC dupe. If I couldn't find a dupe in MAC, I found one in another brand. And you will notice here that there's a couple spots that are missing, but I'll explain about those as we get to them. Let's go ahead and start this in first. So our first two eyeshadows are NYX Barely There and MAC Nylon. And both of these are very close dupes. Their colors are right on, and they both have that gold kind of frost to them. So you can see though that there is a difference in the finish. So the NYX Barely There is a little bit more satiny, a little bit more glowy and soft, and then MAC Nylon is a little more gleamy, a little more metallic, and just overall a little bit more frosted. Our next NYX eyeshadow you can see is missing its dupe, and the reason for that is because I actually couldn't find a dupe for this. This is NYX Highlight, and I don't have a dupe in my collection, so instead I went down to my local MAC counter and I did some swatches, went outside and photographed for you the closest one that I could find. And the one that it matched up closest to is actually a MAC Pro Long eyeshadow in Carefree. Now Carefree did have a little more gold frost to it. This NYX eyeshadow is a little more softer. It doesn't have the same amount of frost to it, but it still has that kind of yellow gold tone. And it's a very soft, glowy kind of highlight. And remember, the MAC Pro Long eyeshadows are the large size pans. They're not the same size as these regular MAC eyeshadows, so they cost even more than the regular ones. So I'll go ahead and insert that swatch now. Our next set of eyeshadows are pretty much perfect dupes for each other. We have NYX Nude and MAC Ricepaper, both gorgeous highlights, and I would say that these are must-haves for anyone's collection. Either one of them. You certainly don't need both since they're so similar to each other, but both of them are just beautiful on so many skin tones. So we've got NYX Nude here, and then MAC Ricepaper. You can see they're both very soft, very glowy, not over-the-top frosty. Here's a couple of other all-time favorites, and these make excellent dupes for each other. So we have NYX Sahara and MAC Femme Fi, and both of these again have that like really soft kind of satiny glow to them. And I just think that is such an attractive look. You know, it's great for the inner corner, the brow highlight. They're just so soft and glowy, not at all overly shimmery, just really beautiful eyeshadows. Now we're into the champagne shades. These three here are all beautiful champagne shades from NYX. Now this one is Ultimatum, and this is actually a Stila eyeshadow. I was kind of looking through my collection of MAC. I couldn't find an exact dupe from MAC, and then I discovered that Stila was pretty much a dead-on dupe for it. So let's go ahead and compare these two. And just looking at them, even in this lighting right now, at least in person, I can see they look identical. And even touching them, you know, swatching them, they feel exactly the same, that very same soft texture. And so you can see they are absolutely gorgeous champagne shimmers. As you can see, our next eyeshadow is missing its dupe, and that's because I could not find an exact dupe for this one in my collection. This is NYX Silk. It is a beautiful, beautiful, kind of soft, peachy, glowy champagne. I absolutely love this color, and I went down to my MAC counter, as I mentioned, and I did photograph and swatch for this one too. And I found that MAC Arena was actually a really, really close one. So I will go ahead and insert that picture now. So NYX Silk or MAC Arena are both beautiful colors if you want that soft, glowy, peachy champagne sort of highlight. Our next two champagne shades make great dupes for each other. We have NYX Champagne and MAC All That Glitters, and these two are again very close to each other. So let's go ahead and swatch them and you can compare. So beautiful champagne shimmers. Again, you just really can't go wrong with these colors. Our last two eyeshadows are cooler tone. So this is NYX Aloha, and while it is still kind of in the champagne family, I just want to emphasize that it is very cool tone. And then we have MAC Phloof. And both of these are beautiful colors. They're both excellent dupes for each other. Texture-wise, they are a little bit different. I have been asked if the NYX eyeshadows are more powdery or if they're more chunky. I would say I usually avoid any of the eyeshadows from NYX that have the glitter to them because those will be chunky and more powdery. But typically, I don't find that I have a lot of problem with like any kind of fallout or anything with the NYX eyeshadows, and they seem to wear pretty well on me if you use the right base. So here we have MAC Phloof and NYX Aloha. And so you can see this one, I believe, does have some slight flecks of glitter to it, but it's not too bad. This isn't one of the bad glittery ones. And you can see that MAC Phloof is a little bit more gleamy, although both very close. Our last NYX eyeshadow you can see here does not have a MAC dupe for it. I looked high and low in my collection and at my MAC counter, could not find one that was an exact dupe. This is Frosted Flakes. It's a very unique kind of pale gray shade. It's kind of a powder gray. And the closest eyeshadow I could find was actually in my Too Faced Smoky Eye palette. And the closest one turned out to be Firefly, right here at the top. So you can see both of those together. Let me get a better swatch of that NYX one. So you can see they're very similar, both kind of those very pale, soft grays, although Firefly does have more shimmer to it. So I hope you guys found the comparisons and swatches helpful, and hopefully they gave you an idea in case you're in the market for some NYX eyeshadows and you're not sure what to get. Maybe this give you an idea of some colors that you might be interested in, and especially if you have to order online, I know it's hard to kind of figure out, okay, well, what is this color really like? So hopefully that gave you an idea. Oh, I do get questions about where to purchase NYX eyeshadows, and usually I will purchase at my local drugstores, but that is out here. And I don't know, you know, I'm sure Hawaii is different from the mainland because I don't know who carries it on the mainland. That's something that you would have to research. I've heard that Ulta does. I don't know how much they carry. I know that you can order online at cherryculture.com. Sometimes I order on there, or I have in the past, and they have a huge selection. So that's always an option, is to order online. So I will let you guys go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.